Good morning, everybody. Surprise. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. What's up, Aaron? Getting situated here so I can be in a good position for everything I'm about to say to you guys today. Get in here. It's going to be a good one. 1 second. One quick second, you guys. Get in here. Get in here. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them mathematically see. See outside what I call the debt matrix? And the debt matrix is a place where slaves live. Now, there's two types of slaves. There's unconscious slaves and there's conscious slaves. Unconscious slaves don't trust math, and they don't know they don't trust math. And you're probably thinking, what do I mean by that? Okay, I'll tell you. If you believe you're a homeowner with a 30-year mortgage, that's not mathematically true, because all you would have to do is open up your calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, and math will show you, and you hit equal, math will clearly show you that you're not a homeowner. But if you choose not to believe the math that you're looking at on your own calculator, you are an unconscious slave. That's you. Okay? Now, conscious slaves were once unconscious. They found the SMD channel, realized if their finances were in the negative, that means they're a slave. That means they woke up and said, I don't own anything around me. No, you don't. None of that is yours. None of it. Anything with your name on it and the bank's name on it, it belongs to the bank, not you. It doesn't matter if personally, business-wise, it doesn't matter. It crosses everything. That's mathematics. They woke up and realized that and said, oh, that means if I don't own anything, they own me. Yeah, that's correct. They own you until you get to what? 0. Now they're doing anything and everything, working 80 hours a week to get out of debt as fast as they can because they know they are slaves. That's the hard part for unconscious slaves. You guys don't know you're slaves. Don't even know. And the only people that are keeping slaves being slaves is themselves. Nobody's holding them back. All of that shit you hear in the debt matrix is a lie. They understand that to be as wealthy as you want to be, all you have to do is just never break the laws of mathematics when it comes to your money, ever. No matter if you're hurt, no matter if you're in love, as long as you don't break the laws of mathematics when it comes to your money, you will always be rich. I didn't know that till I freed myself because I lived there for the first until the age of 40. That's when I started waking up. 40 years old. And the only reason this is so you guys can understand the only reason why I woke up, I didn't know why I was waking up, but I reached the pinnacle of what the people in the debt matrix say success is. Six-figure earning job, great credit score, college educated, bloggity blah, stupid bullshit. I reached that point, and then when I got there, you know what I said to myself? Is this it? What's supposed to happen here? I don't get it. When I got there, you know, one thing I did realize when I got to this so-called made up fantasy, made it, whatever bullshit, what was waiting there, I was like, wait a minute. You mean I do this till age 65, 70 at work? I get up, go to work, go home, all the way to age 65. And then I get to enjoy my life then when I'm 65. I said, hell no, that's not true. Hell motherfucking no. Then that point on, my life changed forever. Let me tell you something, okay? You'll never find another channel like this on YouTube. I promise that. Listen to my voice. I promise that. This is a financial superpower. You think I knew I was a slave? I didn't know I was a slave. Didn't. Till one day, you know what woke me up? One day, the bank denied me a loan. I followed all the credit rules till one day they said, nope. I was like, what? I said, wait a minute. I followed all your rules. Why are you telling me no this time? They said, your DTI is too high. I was like, what's that? Never heard of that. And long story short, it means I had a lot of debt with a little bit of income. Okay, that's what that means. And when you hear DTI, that's all you need to know. Just pay attention to that. That means you have a lot of debt with a little bit of income. All right. And you just got to think to yourself, how long is it going to take me to pay off that amount of debt with the amount of income I have in? And then you factor that in, and then you'll know right away if you're a slave. But I said, wait a minute. I'm in that much debt because I followed the rules that you've been telling me all my life. That's the only reason why I have that much debt. A light bulb went off. I followed all the rules. I'm in debt. Now they're telling me no. Uh-oh, something's wrong there. You know what it was? I was in debt. That was the problem. The problem was me. That's when I woke up. Now I'm here in front of you on the mic. Unlike anybody else on YouTube. Now, this is the only place that you guys are going to get the truth. And the reason why you can get the truth here, because I don't care if you don't trust math. That means absolutely nothing to me. If you don't trust math, that's your fucking problem. Because everything I speak is the mathematical truth. That's all you need to concern yourself about. It doesn't matter if you like me or not. As long as you walk away mad, but as long as you walk away saying my math is right, that's all I care about, because I don't care how you feel about the answer. As long as the answer's right, I'm right. Because I always go according to the laws of mathematics. Always. Now this eviction moratorium got extended to June 30th. That ain't no shocker. That kind of shit, that's expected. You think something's going to change by time June 30th? No, you guys are going to be in the exact same position. What, you guys going to catch up? You going to catch up on all your mortgages and rent by June 30th? No, you're not. Then they're going to extend it again. What do you think you're going to do between now and June 30th? What is different that you're going to be doing? Nothing. You know why? You guys believe that's that's like a relief. Oh goodness. Oh, that really helped us a lot. No, it doesn't, slave. You guys have no idea what that does. You have no fucking clue what that does. And those of you, and this is for all you slave, or even all you landlord slave owners, okay? If you have a mortgage, you're a slave. Those of you that are suffering because you're not getting that rent money, and you can't do shit about it. Nothing. Now, I want you guys to, when you guys get out of the debt matrix, I'm gonna explain something to you guys. There is a clear motherfucking hierarchy. It just is. Okay, I don't know how to explain it, anything past that. It just is. Now I want you to, and even you property owners that maybe just didn't know, and you guys own your property outright. Okay, I'm gonna show you something so you can understand something. Some entity is saying to you, I don't care if you're not collecting any rent. You can't kick them out because I said so. Okay, just think about it. Somebody said that, and you own your property. Somebody said that, and you got to say, okay, isn't that clear that there's a hierarchy? That seems clear to me. You mean somebody can walk in and just say, hey, I don't care if you're not collecting rent. You can't kick them out. That said something to me. Isn't that clear? That's clear to me. They're clearing the board of you slaves. They're making slaves by the millions. I don't know why they are making slaves at such a rapid rate. It's like a printing press of slaves or something. I don't get it. I don't know why it's so fast. And you know, when they extend these moratoriums, you know what I think? I'd be like, what the fuck are they doing? That's what I'd be saying to myself. What? Okay, there's more. When are you guys gonna slow down? Because you know what you slaves are gonna do? You're gonna think now you have more money. That's the first thing you're gonna think. Now I don't have to pay rent. I don't have to worry about being kicked out. It's to ease your mind so you guys can take the little bit of the chump change you have and dump it right back into the economy because you guys don't know. When I saw that shit extended moratorium, I was like, is there something else that they could have done? Look, it's not even it seems like it's good, but it's not even a choice. Do you guys understand what would have happened if they didn't extend that? Do you guys understand what would have happened? Do you understand how many people would be getting kicked out of where they live if they didn't do that? If that many people got kicked out at once, guess what, people? That will wake you up. You guys got it. You guys don't really get it. That cannot happen. If you guys really saw How many people will get kicked out? You guys would realize it's everywhere in the so-called rich areas that you guys believe only rich people and money have. You would see them get kicked out, and you'd be like, "Oh shit, I didn't know Susie and Jan were broke." Yeah, they're broke too. They were just slaves living in a nice house. Yep. Oh my God, they own that business for 30 years. We thought they were rich. Nope. That was a lie too. Sure was. You guys don't see the bigger picture. That cannot happen. You know how many slaves will wake up if they saw that? They'd be like, holy shit. You mean you guys had 3 cars and you guys were making payments on all 3? Yep, just like you. They got to pump the brakes on that, baby. You can't, that cannot happen. But besides that, I want you guys to understand something. Somebody say, hey, man, I don't give a shit if they ain't paying you rent. You can't kick them out because I said so. Just understand that. That's all. That's all I'm saying. We'll let you know when we change our mind. We'll let you know. But the people that do know, you better believe there's some sort of tax kickback, something, something. The people that own their property, they ain't really. I promise you, the people that own their property and understand how money really works, they're not really tripping on moratoriums and nobody collecting. They're not getting rent, and they're getting something. They're going to get something. Believe that. The majority of people that you see tripping are in debt, and they've been in debt that way for years. You don't think the banks knew okay, put it this way. You don't think the banks know who's in financial trouble already before problems happen in the economy? Come on. They own the credit reporting system. Duh. They know what you guys are doing. You guys are only hiding it from yourselves. You guys slaves, you guys don't know. All you got to do is share each other's personal credit report. You'll know everything about that person you're getting involved with. Yeah, business, personalized, personally, relationship. If you could see, if you guys just stopped and decide, as part of dating seriously, all you got to do is say, "Hey, part of my dating, I have to see your personal credit report. I'll show you mine if you show me yours." Right there, you guys would cut out about 95% of your relationship problems. I promise you. Because you would never date a slave. Put it this way. Let me give you guys an example. Okay. I'm gonna give you guys an example. I'm no longer a slave. Okay. But there are millions everywhere. So if I'm out and about and a slave listen, if a slave tries to criticize me in some way, I don't care what like. They say, hey, LJ, you're ugly, or you're fat, or your neck's, you got a big ass nose. But if those words are coming from a slave, I don't care. I mean that shit. I literally don't care what they're saying. They're a slave. Like example like this. If somebody was saying something negative about me, right? I would ask them. I said, "Do you have student loans?" If they say yes, I wouldn't see them anymore. They're just a slave, just yip yapping. This is what will make your if you're a person with low self esteem, right? I guarantee you, your whole life will change because you'll never care the thoughts or opinions of slaves. You'll stop doing that. And if 90 something percent of the people in the US are slaves, what's that tell you? The moratorium is going to be extended come June too. To me, it just seems like they must be just they're rapidly making slaves, and they're working out the 2021 is like a something to work out the kinks or something. That's what it looks like to me. Like it's like, okay, the new economy, we fit in here. All right, we got to make this fit. We got to make that fit. All right, they'll get used to this new way of doing things, and then I think 22 it's going to really take off. I mean, think about it, slaves. What's going to be come June 30th, right? What's going to be different from today till then? What's going to be different from now? Are you going to catch up on all your rent or mortgage? Nope, that's not happening. You know that's not happening. So how is this extended moratorium benefiting you, really, mathematically speaking, financially speaking? How is it going to benefit you? It's not. And let me make sure everybody listening to this video understands something. They're not doing anything to you. Just because of the things I'm showing you and telling you, don't think they're bad things. You choose to be on the wrong side of it. That's all. You choose mathematically to be on the wrong side of it. See, let me show you. If you have a finance phone, 9 times out of 10, your car is financed too. And if your car is financed, guess what? So is your house. You probably got a mortgage payment too. Even more than that, 9 times out of 10, your student loans is your oldest debt out of all your debts. If anything I said was true, you're on the wrong side. Your whole life is a mathematical financial illusion. That's it. It doesn't exist. Now don't get me wrong, that's a tough pill to swallow. Please don't misunderstand that. I understand that. You have to actually say, hey, I'm going to unlearn everything I've been taught since age 18, crammed down my fucking throat about credit scores and 20% utilization rate, only use this percentage of the credit card. All of it is bullshit. It's all bullshit. Wrong. Now remember, everything I'm telling you, I can mathematically prove. Everything. This is why you're doing it to yourself. They're not doing anything. Let me just tell you the difference between us and you. When it comes to our money, we never ever break the laws of mathematics, ever. You don't do that. If you break the laws of mathematics when it comes to your money, you're guaranteed not to have money. Guaranteed. Nobody nobody says you have to be dependent on the government. You can work with them. Whoever them is. I mean, who's them? Who works at the government? Space aliens? Sometimes when I hear people talk about the government, like they're like, oh man, they do this. Who's they? Who's they? Who works there? Martians? Little green space aliens? Who? No, people, us. We're the government. So understand, once you first you got to own before you can own any excuse me. Before you can own anything, you must own yourself. You have I knew they was gonna call at that time. I knew it. You must own yourself. And if you don't even know you don't own yourself, you're gonna be forever caught in stuff like this. Like if you got relieved, put it this way, if you got relieved that the moratorium was extended, that's a problem. That's a sign. That's that relief of something. Whatever you got relieved from, it's coming back on June 30th. It's not going anywhere. If you are relieved for those few months, that's a problem. Do you understand? And the younger you get this, the younger you understand this. This what especially you young kids. I want you guys to understand this. This is all you got to do, okay? You 18-year-old kids that are about to go to college because the TV and your parents told you and all this other stuff, all putting all this pressure down your motherfucking throat, and you don't even know what to do, what to take. They're just telling you to go. If you don't go, you ain't shit. All of that is bullshit. Believe that. This is what I want you to say to your parents. You turn to them and say, Mom, Dad, yeah, do you guys have your student loans? Now, this is going to be a odd. Do you guys still, you say, do you still have your student loans? Now, pay close attention because this is going to be a very odd question because they will never had any of their kids ever ask them this question. If you're the first one, if you're a multiple kid family, I guarantee you, none of the kids will have ever asked their parents this. Okay. So it's gonna throw them off for a second. They'll be like, oh shit, where'd that come from? Okay, just look at the face. It's gonna be shocked. Don't miss it's really quick because they're not gonna know why they're reacting like that, but it doesn't matter. And then if they say yes, this is what you got to say to yourself. This is the next question you ask them. Okay, you say, how long did you go to college for? If they say yes, you say, how long did you go to college for? And they're gonna probably tell you 4 years. All right. And this is what you got to think to yourself. My parents went to college for 4 years, but I'm 18. So they kept their student loans for almost 18 years. I mean, it's probably longer than that, 20 years. Comes on when they went to college and had you. Let's just say 20 years. Okay. Let's say 20, 25 years. You say they went to college for 4 years, but they kept their student loans for 25 years. That's a red flag. Something's wrong there because you got to start thinking like, if they've had student loans for 25 years, how do we have this house? How do we have those cars? How do we go on these vacations? And the student loans are the oldest debt they have. Correct. That's impossible. According to the laws of mathematics, if you have student loans, you can't buy a house. You can't go on vacation. You can't buy cars. You can't do any of that according to the laws of mathematics. Exactly. That's impossible. Then you got to look at them and say, then how come they don't know that? I'm here to tell you because they don't. That's all you need to know. They don't. Because if they trusted math, listen, if they trusted math, they would know. They would know they're not a homeowner with a 30-year mortgage. They would know that. They would know it's a very bad idea to go to college for 4 years and keep your student loans for 25 years. That's very bad. That's financial suicide. And then you just think, do you want to be in that road? Do you want to live in that financial world? I guarantee you that you don't. Anybody, listen, youngsters, anybody that lives that's financially south of zero are slaves, according to the laws of mathematics. You see, you see the people, and this is especially for the youngsters, so you don't get caught up. You see the people with the high credit scores. Let me tell you something. They're usually the ones deepest in debt. Notice how they brag on their credit scores, but never talk about the internal credit report. They will never talk about that. You know why? Because they're ashamed. That's what you care about. You know what's in there? It's a list of their owners. The credit score is nothing more than a pointing system for slaves, a reward point system for slaves, given their higher credit scores. Thanks. It's a thank you for staying in debt. That's what it's for. Hey, thank you for staying in debt for another year. We will reward you with some convoluted numbering system that they come up with. Makes absolutely no sense. You know, so crazy. I know this is a little bit off topic. You know how many FICO people out there making these stupid ass FICO videos like they're professional pros or something? They clearly say nobody is allowed to understand the inner workings of it, but yet there's professionals on the internet teaching about it. When you guys don't even know that you don't even have to be part of it. It's so stupid. It makes absolutely no sense. Everybody has each credit bureau have their own way they score shit, and some stuff is on one credit report, not the other. It makes absolutely no sense. Young people, don't follow that. Don't do what slaves do. Don't get caught up in this shit right here. You see what's going on? See what's going on around you, young kids? People in a panic, can't pay their bills. You don't have to be part of that. Don't let those people make you believe that debt is part of life and it is what it is, and just because something happens you got to be. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's not true. None of that's true. I guarantee you the majority of the people telling you that are unconscious slaves. You see this tidal wave happening? Mm. They're creating you guys by the millions, man. It's happening so fast, it's scary. It's like, okay, when you guys gonna put the brakes on this shit? I mean, it's getting created by the generations too. I keep saying it. I think it's just so it'll last for the next 80 to 100 years. Between moratoriums, pulling your pulling your student loans off of your credit reports. Uh, I mean, I don't get it. I mean, it's happening in so many. I mean, they're doing it in so many ways to you slaves. You guys have no idea what's happening. It is absolutely amazing to just watch it. They are clearing the board. They are clearing the board of all. You guys are gonna. Let me tell you something, slaves. You guys are gonna see so many people that you thought had money. Don't get me wrong; they're gonna blame the virus or whatever. You know, that's just how it is. But I want you to really think about it. Okay, you guys are gonna see some people that you thought had money. That's gonna just you're gonna be like, damn, what happened to them? Everybody that all the fakers, all the unconscious slaves that are looking like they're rich, you're gonna see them. They won't be able to hide from this one. Okay. They ain't gonna be able to hide from this one, I promise you. especially if they were fakers inside of the real estate game. Oh man. Mm. People taking out second mortgages to get a third, thinking they're now landlords, and the renters paying for the mortgage, all that stupid shit. You about to see all those guys go bye bye. What's up, Andre? Dale, retired, eclectic. It's crazy to see just expected things that it's so obvious that was going to happen. Come June, they're going to extend it to probably December, just in time for you slaves to. They'll probably extend it past December, so you slaves will spend your money in Christmas time for the holidays. Because even though this is one of the worst times in history, you guys will still spend money that you don't have on Christmas. Let me tell you something. If you knew you were a slave, you wouldn't give a fuck about Christmas. If you knew you were a slave and Christmas was around the corner, you'd be like, I don't care about Christmas. I'm a slave. I'll come back to Christmas when I first own myself. Because I'm not saying don't enjoy the holidays. Let me make sure that's clear. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you own yourself, I promise you Christmas is different. Every holiday, put it this way, any holiday that you thoroughly enjoy right now, when you own yourself, it's going to be 10 times better because you'll enjoy that holiday the way you want to enjoy that holiday. Maybe this holiday is a one day, but you like to celebrate this holiday for a week because you choose to. You can do that. You can't do that when you're a slave. You can't do that. Hey, 4th of July is coming up. I'm just gonna go ahead and knock off the whole week or 2 weeks of because I like to spend my 4th of July really, really long or whatever goes on in your brain. You can't do that when you're a slave. When you're a slave, you're caught up in all this nonsense by choice. I guarantee you this, the property owners right now, the true property owners, okay, that own the place that they're renting out, they own it fully outright. This is more of a nuisance. It's more of a, oh damn, I got to scratch that, man. Man, that is really just this itch that just bothered me on my neck. They're not panicking. They're not like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose everything and all this other stuff. Oh man, the government came and said I can't kick people out. They ain't tripping like that. You know how awesome it would be to be a property owner that understands money like this and also would only rent to people that understand money like this. Can you imagine that? Half of your renting problems, I mean, over half, probably 90% of your renting problems would be eliminated. People not paying the rent on time, breaking it up in payments. Can you take this? Can I pay you on that? Can I do this? All that shit will be eliminated. Everything would be automatic. Sure does. I remember that used to be me, man, when I was a slave. I remember charging Christmas, and I would say, "Oh, I'm going to use my Christmas bonus or whatever bonus I was getting around that time and pay back Christmas." It was just so stupid. I was willing to go into debt for Christmas instead of just saying, "I don't have any money for Christmas." But eh, even doing that, you don't want people to think that you don't have any money. So it's the stupidest. Oh, it's so stupid. It is so dumb. Imagine, imagine how many people get caught up in like when just think of Christmas time coming up soon, right? Coming up around the corner, whatever, right? And people start posting their Christmas stuff on YouTube, their big Christmas trees, especially the Christmas tree with a whole bunch of presents underneath. And people that the majority of people don't have money, they just don't really understand that, right? But then they look at these pictures and look at this person, and they'll think, "Oh my God, these guys are rich. Look how tall that tree is. Look at their ceiling. Look at all the presents." None of that means anything. None of that means anything. And they're gonna fall for it. It's just, oh man, it's just crazy. That's the illusion. You're right about that. Real estate is hot. Yes, but that's an illusion. Okay, that's not real. Banks don't want the homes; they want the promissory notes, slave papers. Yep, that's that's the real reason why. I want you guys to understand that you guys see this fake real estate hotness. That's what the banks want you to believe. It's hot. Get in now. Get in now. They need those promissory notes because when this crash happens, guess what? You're going to still be paying the same value of the house that it is now in this current moment. You promised it. You're promising it now. And see, just to see this part, like he says, but I think this is different from 2008. Now, this is very important because they always make this comparison on channels, on YouTube channels, and on just in Google. There is no comparison to 2008 in this. There was no killer virus in 2008 that took over the world. Do you understand? There's no comparison. Why you got to stop and think to yourself, why are they comparing now to then? That has nothing to do with anything. I'm just going to tell you guys this, okay, so you guys can understand something. The reason why they compare 2000 right now to 2008 because there is no comparison there is nothing else to compare this to. Do you understand the magnitude of this? There's nothing in history to compare this to, so they're going to go to 2008 to keep you slaves' minds busy. Let me just if you guys don't wake up right now, if you don't wake up and you carry those same slave habits from before 2020, you bring those over to 2021 and 22, you are in trouble. Let me, okay, I'm gonna break it down even lower so you guys can really get this, okay? There was, do you know there was something out there that the virus couldn't affect? Did you know so? Did you know that? Even though the virus hurt the whole world economy, you know what it didn't affect? Student loan debt. Student loan debt didn't even flinch. I bet you student loan debt don't even know that there's a world economy change right now. It doesn't even know. It's like what's going on? What killer virus? What's that? I'm supposed to be having a mask over myself? No. Why everybody running around all crazy? I don't get it. It probably did wake up and say, "Hey, wait a minute. How come I'm not being fed? What's happening?" Okay. You guys just pausing my food for a minute. Okay. All right. Well, it's gonna start up again. Yeah, yeah, it's starting back up. Of course. Oh, okay. No, I'm not even gonna say it. Hey, Quentin says, I knew something was up back in 2018 when I started seeing storage places and apartments getting built on every other corner. Yes, they were preparing. They're preparing. That's obvious shit now, man. That shit is so obvious now. Slaves have that. That's just given. Hey, maybe they're okay. Maybe they're saying, hey, we need more time to put up more apartment buildings. Okay, extend the moratorium. Maybe that's it. Maybe there's some kind of that now. See, when things like I'm like, why are they doing that? Okay, why? That's all my thing. It's like, okay, hey, we need more time to put up more storage places. Okay, extend the moratorium. We'll give them more time to put this shit up. Now that makes sense to me. Now, if you see these places going up even faster, that means they got to do it within this time frame because maybe they'll extend it, maybe they won't. That's up to the people that run the show. Now it's like they probably say, "All right, all right, do we have enough places for these people to go? Because if they end up on the street, slaves are going to know something's wrong." And you're probably thinking, well, why the storage places? Because you guys got all this shit in this house you don't own, and you still don't want to let. And most of that shit is the reason why you got to get out of that house, but you guys still want to keep it. So guess where you're going to put it? You're going to put it in some storage facilities and damn near be paying rent to keep it there. I was telling people to sell in the third quarter of 2005. They laughed at me. And then 2008 to 2010, I was the one laughing. Ain't that crazy? They need to issue 1 trillion debt in the next 8 years. They need to issue 1 trillion in debt. So expecting things to get worse before they get better. Why 100 trillion? Why? Why that number? Does that guarantee at least 100 years of in servitude? I'm going to say this to the young people, okay? If you don't want to live like that, you don't have to. If you want to be wealthy, all you have to do is listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. That's all you got to do. Never, ever break the laws of mathematics when it comes to your money. If it doesn't make mathematical sense, it cannot make financial sense. CENTS. It cannot. That's according to the laws of mathematics. Of course, they think college is expensive. They keep their student loans for 20 years. If your parents' student loans are older than you, that's a problem. Don't believe all the stuff that you see around your shoes, your clothes, all that. If their student loans are older than you, everything you're looking at is an illusion because the laws of mathematics say you can't do any of that. This is a this is a financial gift. Millions don't know this. Millions don't know this. Millions don't know none of this is hidden. This is not hidden information that I'm telling you. It's not a secret. I don't own math. Anybody can use math. Anybody can. I just decided to believe math. That's it. I believe math now, always. The dream is the carrot, debt is the whip. Damn. Damn. Mm. And they're doing it to themselves. You guys really don't. It's like it's a gift, but it's a. Mm, it, when you see people you love that are unconscious slaves, man, it's gonna bother you. It is. It's gonna really bother you because you're gonna see them doing it to themselves, and you're gonna see them doing it, man, and you can't do anything about it. You just gotta watch. Financially speaking, it's more profitable for the government to issue a new moratorium than to instantaneously create millions of new homeless. Oh yeah, no, when I when they make their moves, I'm not to me, I'm not like upset about what they do or why I mean, I know why they're doing it. They're creating lots of debt for slaves for the next 100 years, right? I get it. I'm not, but you got to remember they're doing it. Slaves are doing it to themselves by not trusting mathematics. They're not doing anything to anybody. My friend's sister is 50K in credit card debt and pops, man. I put it this way because I don't want to encourage, I don't ever want to say the amount of debt you have is impossible to pay off. Let me just put it this way. And I really want you to feel what I'm saying because I'm not. If in your heart you truly believe that you'll never pay off your debt, you're going to die a slave. I want you to clearly understand that. You're going to die a slave. You're going to die a slave. It won't matter where you live. It won't matter what you drive. It won't matter. It won't matter. You're going to die a slave. How do I know this? Because I once was one and now I'm not. And once you understand that you're a slave, first you must embrace that you're a slave, a conscious slave. You go from once you embrace to recognize that you're a slave, at that moment you go from unconscious slave to conscious slave. Once you embrace that, that'll be step one. There will be nothing that'll change your view on that amount of money. You're like, if I don't pay that, that's the only way I'm gonna be free. That's the only way you're gonna be free. That's the price of your freedom. Add up all your debt. That is the price of your freedom. That's how much it's gonna cost you to be free. That was my price tag. I realized that I was a slave, and I did whatever it took to get out of debt. I didn't care what slaves thought what I was doing. It didn't matter. I sold everything, moved out of my fancy high-rise apartment into a room in my sister's house at age 40 something. All that. I did all that. People are like, oh, El must be broke. Look at him. He ain't got that fancy Lexus anymore. Those are all slaves talking. Believe that. Don't worry about them. You're going to do whatever it takes to become free. Correct. Student loans can only be exchanged for more debt. 50K in credit card debt, 30. Oh my God. Oh, anything's possible though. I don't. First, a person has to, it wouldn't even matter the percentage rate of a debt. Once you wake up and realize that you're a slave, you'll be paying that debt off so fast. There is no way interest would be able to keep up with you. Okay, because interest is based on a timetable. You get to control your timetable, how fast you want to make money. That the interest rate is stuck. It says you can earn interest at this point, doing it this time over this many months, blah blah blah, whatever the contract. But with you can make money as fast as you wish to pay off that debt. So the interest will never catch up with you. They can easily replace student debt with federal debt and increase taxes. There is no escape. There is one escape, you guys. There is one. You got to pay off your debt. You got to get out of debt. You can escape all that. You can escape all that. You got to pay off your debt. What's your price of freedom? If you don't even, now put it this way. Okay. I know a lot of you, you don't even want to know how much, you don't even want to know how much debt you're in. If you are a person that's too scared to even know, even want to know how much debt you're in, you are subconscious and unconscious. You are so unconscious that there might never ever be able to way to help you. They have you right where they want you. If you're too scared to even look, oh man. Sorry, this fire engine's going by. You are like unconscious. If you're too scared to even know, don't get to that point. If you get to that point, that's gonna be it, man. That's it. You'll never be able to understand what I'm telling you right now on this mic. You'll never be able to get it. It'll be mathematically impossible for you to feel what I'm trying to explain to you. Because the only way to know this is to feel it. And the only way to feel it is to own yourself. You have to own yourself first. Once you own yourself, you own everything outside of yourself too. That's how it works. So when these type of things happen in the economy, yeah, it's more of an irritant than anything. It's like, okay, well, shit. All right, I'll wait. I'll wait till whatever they're gonna do. Because you really ain't got no you don't got no control over that. Okay, that's like generations above your pay grade. Don't worry about what you can't control. Okay, there is a point to when you're free. Even when you're financially free, even people that are financially free, they understand that there's points that they have no control over. Period. That's generations above your pay grade. Generations. It is what it is. This is where you stop right here. This is what you can do. This is the least, this is the most thing, whatever you're going to do with your money. This is what you can and cannot do. Oh, yeah. Remember, the government can pass any law it needs. Yeah, that's true. Never forget that, ever. These are things, those are things that I will never forget. That it can be, anything can be changed at any time. Lou says, my god brother wife is leasing a Toyota SUV, keeping up with her coworkers. It gets me angry. I keep sending him your videos, but he's not taking heed. No. You got to remember, when you send them, and I thank you for sending my videos to them, but when you send them videos like this and they're not ready to hear it, they can't hear a word I'm saying. They cannot. Like I always tell you guys, I have a very close friend that he just absolutely refuses to hear it. Absolutely refuses. I could feel so bad. I could feel the negative energy come through the phone. When we even get on that subject, it's like, oh, you could just feel it. Pray they don't pay the student loans. The consequences will be much worse. Oh yeah, ain't nobody student loans are here forever. I want you guys to understand that. If you are one of the many people listening to this video and you know in the back of your mind that you're never paying off your student loans, they want you. They got you. If your student loans are older than your mortgage, they got you. And this is what I want you to like think about. I'm gonna say something real quick so you can understand. If your student loans are older than your mortgage, 9 times out of 10, you got a FHA mortgage or some sort of subprime mortgage. Now, instead of getting like upset about it, I want you to ask yourself, how does he know that? Is he a banker? Is he some kind of financial advisor? No, I'm none of that. None of that. You know how I know that? According to the laws of mathematics tells me that. Math tells me that. I don't need no special financial advisor to help me use a calculator. I don't. Oh, you put those numbers in there. Okay. Then you hit this plus or hit this minus. Okay. All right. And then you put the second set of numbers in there. Yep. That's it. And then you hit these two double line. What's that? That's called the equal. Yeah. Okay. Hit that. There's your answer. LJ, it's too late for the 50-something-year-olds to pay off their debt because of their mindset. Again, I say, I'm never going to say never, because if somebody woke up at 50, even at 50, and realized that have been an unconscious slave. Like, let me picture myself. Okay. If I woke up at 51 and realized that I still had $50,000 in student loan debt, and if I had that, that means I would probably have everything else, a mortgage, credit card bills, car payments, because all of it is chained together. I want you guys to understand that's the reason why you got to finance your whole life, because you're in debt when you started. And I woke up at 51 and realized I was a slave. What would I? It'd be counting off. I was probably married with children. Oh shit, man. Let me think about this. I'm gonna really think about this. If I woke up, now I'm 51, so my kids are grown, so I don't really have small kids, hopefully. But I'm married. And me and my wife been living like this all of our lives. We've been married for 20 years. And I wake up and say, hey, baby, we've been doing it all wrong. We are slaves. What if she disagrees with me? inside decides, no, we've been living like this. This is cool. Babe, we got our mortgage wrong. We wasn't supposed to get an FHA mortgage. We'll never own this house. We got to get out of here. We got to move. We got to sell. Nah, we've been here for 15 years. You think I'm going to just sell out? Oh, man. Hey, babe, we don't own anything. See, we have a mortgage. Look, let me show you on the calculator. Let me put in mortgage payment minus mortgage balance and hit equal. Look, babe, that's our equity in the house we don't even own. She'd be like, but we've been living here for 15 years. What do you mean we don't own it? Oh, man, I can't even imagine explaining that. And I know probably the only way I'm going to be able to get out of this is probably Chapter 7 bankruptcy. I think that's the only thing that would save me at 51. That would leave me at least a chance, because 50 is not old. I want everybody to understand something when listening into this room, okay? When you're free, okay, I know you can't make the connection. It really is difficult to make the connection, but when you're free, you own the time in your life, and you know the time is the most valuable thing on earth. You own the time. So now you're free to do anything you wish, including take care of yourself, your body, your money. Everything changes, right? Because now that I'm 50 and I look back at 20 and 30, I'm like, wait a minute, I was young then. Yeah, I was young. 50 is not old. 20 and 30 is young. You guys are new to earth. 50 is still young enough to turn things around. And you know what else is crazy? This is way off, but I want you to understand something. Go watch the documentary of Tina. Especially those of you coming out of debt, those of you that are not in debt. I want you to go look at Tina, and you can clearly see Tina is clearly aware. I know you guys, most of you guys don't understand awareness and all that shit, but I'm talking to the aware people. Go watch the documentary. You will clearly see Tina's aware. Look what she achieved at her age. Look what she achieved. She didn't care what anybody said. Hey, you're too old, you're this and that, and she still achieved what she achieved. Go watch that documentary. Man, it was absolutely hands down amazing. It's never too late. These irritants are when the most profit is made. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's I was trying to give them a perspective of the feelings of people that actually own the shit. It's like when you own, let me give you an example, Slave, so you can understand. When you own your house, right? And when the housing market crash comes, right? And it's coming, and housing prices drop to half. Let's just say they go from your house was worth 500,000 to drop to 200,000, right? Yeah, that's true. Every house drops, but if you own your house and you wasn't moving anytime soon, who cares that it drops? So what? You think it's not going to come back up? Of course it is. Of course it's coming back up. Damn, though, it sounds like you went through financial version of going cold turkey to get out of debt, went full throttle, all hands on deck. That's exactly what I did. Young people, I want you to also understand something too, okay? When you get out of debt, the whole financial world goes quiet. Everything goes quiet. You only hear the people that make mathematical sense from that point on. There's a lot of slave splaining out there. Slave chitter chatter. They just be making up shit, talking about they own this, adding stuff they don't own to their portfolios. You don't own that house. Why is it in your financial portfolio and you don't even own that property or the house? Why is it there? You mean you don't know that you don't add stuff that you don't own into your financial? Are you insane? That makes no mathematical sense. All that stuff goes quiet. And then you'll hear the people. There's a few of us in every field, every financial field that you go. There's only a few of us in there, but that you just can't see them because they're hard to hear. There's so much slave chitter chatter all over the place. You don't know who to listen to. All you have to do is listen to the people that make mathematical sense. That's it. That's all. I know a lady who went to college at 60 and sold a business for millions at 68. Wow. Wow. Man, I see the wheels turning in her head now. She's not trying to downsize for nothing. She would think, what would our friends think? Our neighbors? Yeah, they do that. There's mortgage debt. There is more mortgage debt than student loan debt. There is, yeah. Okay. I mean, when I read that, I ask myself, why are you telling me that? Why are you telling me there's more debt in a pile of debt than this other pile of debt? Why are you comparing piles of debt? That's what I'm curious to know. All of a sudden, thoughts of you not being the man she thought you was will still manifest in her. Yeah. That'd be tough, man. Back to that story. I honestly, I'm biased right now because I know what freedom feels like. If I was in that position now and I woke up, I would divorce whoever I'm with if they didn't wake up with me. Because you can't be a slave, cannot a free person cannot be with a slave. Like, you can't. Slaves think totally different. They always talk about different things. Uh, you would have to get a divorce because especially at my age now, I don't have much time. I got about a good 20, 25 good working years, like seriously build something, right? Mm, yeah, that'd be tough, man. That'd be real tough. You be in love with somebody, you're in love with each other, and then you wake up. Oh man. Then they'd be like, I love you, but damn, I'm a slave? Yeah, you're a slave. You're two slaves in love. Sure are. You probably fighting over, can't really. Oh man, you guys, we work so much, we don't spend any time with each other. Yeah, that's because you're slaves. That's why you got to work so much. That's why you can't spend any time with each other because you're slaves. Then when there is time off, you got so much other stuff to do to cram in these 1 or 2 days that you have for free that you supposedly have off. 9 times out of 10, you probably still working from your laptop or your phone, answering emails even on your days off. And then you wonder why the relationship ain't working. That's because you're two slaves together. That's why you have money problems. Slaves don't have money. Then affairs happen. It just daisy chains. You're not spending enough time with me, blah, blah. Oh, man. You wouldn't sell the house anyway. You would rent it out and your children inherit it, avoiding capital gains tax. There's so many ways. Like when you get out of debt, like you see these complicated tax things, all you have to do, listen, you'll know the right tax person to know what to do, right? You pick a tax person, I swear to God, you pick a tax person who is debt free. They will see things that other people that do taxes that are in debt and think debt is part of life, They can see something that those people cannot see. They can't see it because they're mathematically blind. So even if you showed them, they still couldn't see it. Even though I don't know. Yeah, you can show them mathematically. You could show them mathematically, they still wouldn't see it. You go to a tax person and again, I promise you, they'll never had anybody ask them this question, okay? If you go to a tax person, that's somebody doing your taxes, you ask them, "Are you debt free?" You mind if I see your personal credit report? Not your credit score, your personal credit report. Now, there's two things that will happen, okay? One will happen a lot. They'll be like, "What the fuck you need my person? What you want to see that so personal for?" Blah blah blah. You're gonna hear a lot of that. Okay. But then you're gonna come across, maybe, hopefully, cross my fingers, you'll come across one that will be shocked that you asked that question. Not that there's a problem showing you because there's nothing on it. Just the shock that, how do you know that? How you know to ask them that question? Herman says, my little brother financed a 2021 Mustang. They want me to finance a car, but I refuse to. My family real mad because I won't be like him. You better not follow him. 2021 Mustang? Little brother, you guys sound young too. Oh man, I can imagine the payments, the insurance, and the interest rate. Oh man. Let me tell you something, okay? Financing a car is one of the worst things you could do in your life. Finance a car. That's one of the worst. That's Slaves don't know the kind of financial statement that makes when you say you got car payments. Like when you say, "Hey, I got a deal on this car and I got a great percentage rate and my payments are reasonable." You have no idea. None of that makes mathematical sense at all. You know what kind of statement that makes? That says, "I don't understand money. I'm financing things that go down in value and wondering why I'm living paycheck to paycheck." Even your family, if they get mad, this is how you got to look at it. This will help you. You don't care how they feel about math, because when they're mad, they're not mad at you, they're mad at math. And being mad at math makes absolutely no sense. So that'll help you take your feelings out of it. You'll think that's weird. It's like, huh, why are you mad? That makes no sense. 2021 Mustang, I guarantee he's probably financing it for 72 to 84 months, guaranteed. They probably threw in the warranty bumper package, the extended warranty, the gap insurance, all that. He's probably in that car just chilling, like, look at me. I'm driving. No, no, it's not like that. Just a slave driving a car. That's it. Driving a brand new 2021 Mustang. Oh man. Probable, guarantee, different words for a reason. Yeah, yeah. I know people who pay car notes be mad after they paid off the bank car and be like, damn, I could have spent $62,000 on something else. Slaves don't understand that they don't even have money. Slaves don't, the deeper thing, I don't really expect you guys to really understand what I'm saying. It doesn't really, but again, it doesn't matter. But even money doesn't even, it's weird because it's like they do it right in your face, but you slaves still don't see it. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life, man. It's just amazing to see, right? Now, if you just like for let's look at this because the price went down. That's crazy, right? All right. Anyway, I want you to open up your Google, right? And I want you to Google to say how much does it cost to make $100 bill? Now, Now, and you'll go to the government website, and the government says, "Hey, this is how much it costs for us to make," or the central bank, whoever put that information up there. I don't really Doesn't really matter. It just is what it is. You go there, and they say, "Hey, this is how much it costs for us to make this money, to make $100 bill," right? So last year, it cost 19.6 cents to make $100 bill, just under 20 cents. So I had been, just saying this over and over and over again in different rooms and stuff like that. But I decided to go back and look again. They now make $100 bill for 14 cents. 14 cents to make $100 bill. It costs less. I was like, wow, that is. And okay, now listen, you read this, right? You're reading it, right? It says, hey, it costs us 14 cents to make this. But then when you get it, it's worth 100. To you, it's $100. It's $100. And again, they're not hiding anything. I want you guys. That's why I'm saying it. They're not hiding, look, saying, "Look, this is." But my point is this: who cares what you feel about it? You can't do anything about it anyway. It doesn't matter. That's why they can tell you. You can't do shit about it. I'm just trying to point something. I'm just trying to point something out to you. Okay, this is what it says to you. Okay, say like you get you break the chains and you open up. You start a business, but you start a business debt free. Okay. And when I say debt free, I'm not talking about not get business loan. I'm just understand that you start a business debt free. And then when you find out the price of how much things really cost, like, because if you're in debt, all you see is retail. That's all you see. Hey, this is what we charge for this thing. But if you knew how much shit really costs, it would blow your mind. You'd be like, I've been paying how much for that? And that they only make it for what? Now, this is an example of that. Now, it's up to you to believe it or not. It's totally up to you. Even though you're seeing it with your own eyes, you can clearly see that, hey, does that make sense? There's a reason why it doesn't make sense. But if you're a slave, you don't even know that even exists, right? You don't know that. But when you get out of debt and you see it like, oh, that doesn't make sense. Why doesn't it make sense? Because there's a reason for that. You have to figure out the reason. Hmm. 72-month gap loan, gap insurance, bumper to bumper, extended service warranty, healing, all that. They just load it up. Why do people who lease or finance cars always think they got a deal or got over on the system? That's part of the program. Do you think a slave knows that you're not supposed to be at a car lot for 8 hours to buy one car? Only a slave would do that. If they can get you to, are you insane? Wait, you think I would ever waste eight? And I did when I was a slave. I'm just saying now, I'm after the fact. But do you think I would ever, like, I remember I used to prepare myself to go to when I thinking about buying a car, I used to prepare myself to be there all day. Oh, we're gonna need some babysitters or have to bring the kids, blah, blah, blah. But I remember one time, all right, and I don't know, I know now why I remember this moment, right? Uh I remember one time at this particular time I was married, right? And I guess my wife had stopped by this car lot to look at this car. And a hit before she brought me to the car lot. Okay. So I remember we was packing up the kids to go to the beach, right? And we're headed down to the beach. She said, "Hey, can you turn here, go into this parking lot?" I said, "What you want to go in there for?" "Oh, I want to see something." I don't know what she told me at that time. But then we go in there, and then as soon as I drive up, the salesman come out, "Hey, Mr. Young." I was like, how you know my name? He's like, "Oh yeah, your wife came here earlier and this and that." And I was like, what the I was thinking to myself, you know how long we're gonna be here? We're gonna miss the beach, blah, 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 right? Because as a slave, you just automatically think that you're gonna be there all day, right? And I said, "Hey, check this out, man. I don't want to be here." I said, if we're not, and I had good credit this time and a good job. I said, I don't want to even be here. I said, if we're not in and out of here in an hour, we're not buying nothing. Which I should have said not. We wasn't gonna buy anything, but I ended up buying it anyway. But the part is this. I said, I'm not staying here. I said, this paperwork is not wrapped up in an hour. I'm leaving. And they knew I was serious. I had the kids in the car getting impatient and shit. They was trying to get me to get the kids. Hey, bring the kids out and inside. We got a little play area. I know you do. But I said, no, that's set up for you guys too, slaves. So you can stay there all longer. But they got that paperwork done in an hour and I was out of there. That showed me something. I didn't know it at the time, but it showed me something. It's like, wait a minute, you mean I don't have to be here? No. When you involve your feelings and you start really want that car and you start going through these things, you're like, oh my God, I don't want to lose this car. Things change. But when you make sure you get on that car, they knew I didn't have no feelings attached to whatever car she was buying. I had zero, but it was up to me to get it. So they knew they got that paperwork done in an hour because I had no feelings attached to that car. I didn't care about starting up the car and leaving and starting up my truck and getting out of there. The American dream is that see, here's another thing. Another thing right in your face, they say the American dream. They're not lying to you. All right, 1 second. Bathroom break. I drink a lot of water when I'm talking. Hold on. Hyphy says, speaking of the question above, people think getting 0% APR on a car is a deal. It's a fantastic, easy, it's fantastic. Easily these people are tricked. The real interest rate is tied in the car price. Sure is. All of that. I said this the other day. Somebody brought up in that when I was on that collab, or he said, "What about 0% interest?" I said, "The reason why it's zero, you can fit the zero easily on the hook that it's attached to. It fits right over the hook, and you guys just bite it every time, trying to get that zero and catch them right on up. That's how they get you. That's how they get you slaves in there. This is why they get you on leases. This is the only reason why they came up with leases, right? They made it some more convoluted paperwork to make you to bring down the price to do some bullshit, right? And then you guys fall for the smaller monthly price, but they have so many things attached to it, you guys don't even see it. You can't drive this many miles, you can't put a scratch on it. All the things that are pretty much impossible when driving a car. You can't guarantee somebody's not going to kick back a rock on your car when you're driving down the street. Come on, man. But they put all this stuff in there, and then when you guys bring that car back with over the miles and all that stuff, man, they just kill you. Oh my God. They just man, they just do you guys so dirty. Oh, they do slaves so dirty, man. God damn, man. Sometimes I'll be seeing commercials. They'd be like, hey, then the brand new Cadillac will pop up on the screen. They'd be like, oh yeah, easy to do, 72 months financing. That's why they talk fast. And in months. 72 months, 84 months financing, 0% interest rate. That shit is so funny, man. But they make sure they always have the monthly payment. 1 second. But they always have the monthly payment in big numbers on the TV screen. Have you ever noticed that? All the stuff that you guys don't give a shit about, it's in real tiny letters and you guys can't see it. You're not reading it anyway. They got the they put the tiny letters as they're showing the car, the leather interior and the speakers and stuff. You think you're paying which one do you think you're paying attention to the little stuff they're telling you, or are you paying attention to what's in the car? What's in the car, man? Come on, man. And all you want to see was what's that monthly price. That's it. Hey man, come finance this for 350,000 months at $40 a month. You guys would jump all over that. LJ, you ruined my dating life. I can't date a woman unless she is physically fit and financially stable. Hey, if that's what you want. When you get out of debt, and this has nothing, almost nothing to do with, but being out of debt and you own yourself, it just raises your confidence level. Period. Right? You just won't. You won't accept anything less in your life. You won't if you were once a slave and you did what it took to get yourself out of debt, you're not gonna date a person that doesn't give a fuck about being in debt. Do you understand? That will never happen. Like if you worked your ass off, right, to pay off your student loans, it took you 3 to 4 years to pay off your student loans. And then you get with somebody that has student loans and you say, "Hey man, when you gonna pay those off?" And they say, "Oh, never, I don't care. I'm not think they can't get me or whatever." You're not gonna date that person. You come across a person, especially you young adults, right? You think somebody has money, and you think, "Oh, he got a nice job, he got a nice car, he got a nice house," and then you say, "Hey, man, you got student loans?" And they say, "Yes." Automatically, you're gonna know that his student loans is older than his house, his car, his job. And then you got to think to yourself, why is his student loans older than everything? Because he's a slave. That's why. People think I'm joking when I say your dating life will change. It's going to totally change. You want 9 times out of 10, you don't have to worry about divorce, having kids with the wrong person. You won't worry about being in child support court and uh, uh, fighting over weekends and days and all that bullshit. All that shit will be eliminated. Home prices at an all time high, yet APR yet APR is low. Car prices at an all time high. Yeah, but people only care about the APR. That's the rate. That that's the rat wheel you always speak of. It sure is. That's hey Hyphy. That's the rate of speed. We're gonna let's say the rate of speed for the wheel of spinning. You know what I'm saying? Come up with some acronym that tells the rate of speed of the rat wheel that they're running in. What are you paying 30% interest rate? Yeah, so that calculates your rat wheel is running at 50 miles an hour right now. That's why they have ton of small print at the end of the commercial. Small print that's only on the screen for a millisecond. It sure is. You know what that says? Hey, we followed all the guidelines and rules and laws. That's what they do. Because you guys got to understand, big businesses that make money, they understand to follow the rules. Period. That's what it is. And if you only hire people in those areas, like if you hire a debt-free financial team, do you know how you would kill the game? Like, say, like you own a business, okay? You own a business, right? But you only hire a debt-free accountant, a debt-free tax attorney, a debt-free tax person, blah blah blah, whatever. They must be debt-free. They all know the rules. You'd be killing the game. Nobody would even understand how you're doing. You'd be like, "What, man? Who do you?" They'll be thinking, "Okay, did what college?" This is how slaves think. They'll hire somebody that understands these rules. They'll be like, "What college did they go to? What? Oh, that they don't teach shit there. What is?" They think it has something to do with college or where they grew up or what family or what color they are. They always think that stupid nonsense. I just heard that a 22-year-old saying he was $750,000 in debt and committed suicide. This was last week. I think you're referring to that that person that was doing something, I think was it cryptocurrency, something, or no, it was stocks, something like that. I think that was a minute ago too. I'm just happy I don't have any debt. I think most of us probably have more wealth than the average person. This is what I'm finding. So you guys really understand how this works. I'm finding that my clients that come to me, the ones with the lowest credit scores are in better shape than the ones with the higher credit scores. Because this is the illusion that people with low credit scores don't see. Usually people with low credit scores are in less debt because of their low credit score, they're not allowed to borrow as much money because they're not trustworthy, but they don't really understand that that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing that you can't borrow as much money. That's a good thing that you can't borrow as much money as a person with good credit can borrow. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. They're actually helping you by not loaning you money. That's what they're but slaves but like when people come to me, you guys always, most of you say the same thing. Oh man, I was nervous to talk to you. I didn't know what you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna uh you know talk about me or something. And you guys watch my videos. I'm not here to talk about you. I'm here to help you, man. I'm here to help you become rich. I'm here to remove all of the worrying about somebody talking about you, right? Because 90% of the people here are slaves. So once you get out of debt, you won't care what they think or what they say or how they feel about you. Even if they like one day when I get big, somebody's gonna take one of my videos and make a funny video. I don't care if I'm gonna find out if they're a slave, I don't care what they make. Who cares? What's up, Jewel? Yes, I never borrowed much when I was younger, nothing over $500, but I'm shamed for not having more debt to be approved for. See, ain't that crazy? Crazy. And you don't even need it. That's how powerful the programming is. I mean, and I get it. I totally get it. I get why. I mean, growing up, they make it seem like if you don't have a good credit score, you ain't shit. And that is not that is, that is so not true. That is not true. Why do you guys think? I know this is way off the topic, but why do you guys think there are so many credit fixers out there? People that are so-called credit masters, they're here to fix your credit. They can increase your credit score. Why do you think there's so many of them? Just think about it. I want you guys to really think about it. Why do you think there are so many of them? Because it doesn't mean anything. Half those people that are helping you in their credit, they're in debt too. Okay, I promise you, they're in debt too. The majority, I'm not gonna say all of them. The majority of them are in debt too. They got student loans just like you. Just think about it. They got student loans just like you, but they're helping you with your credit. Does that make any sense? That don't make no sense, does it? That makes absolutely no sense. You got to like, wait a minute, you got student loans too? Yeah. Then what are you gonna do to help me with my credit? Nothing. Just make some money off of you because you don't know. You don't know it don't mean nothing. That's why that's how they make money off you guys. You don't know credit don't mean shit. You guys don't know that. The reason why you worship credit because you're slaves. You guys you guys don't know you have no choice. Listen, I want you to listen closely. You have no choice but to use credit. Do you understand? That's why you worship it. You don't have no choice. In your mind, you think you don't have no choice. Like if you believe, like listen, if you believe that you can never buy a house without a mortgage, that's just what you believe. But if you take another step back, is there any other way to buy a house? No, there is no other way to buy a house than with cash. You have to have your own money to buy a house. There is no other way to buy a house other than cash. There is no other way. Everything outside of that is called financing. Slaves always want to look rich or famous, always talking about investment in bitcoins, but have so much debt. They all do that. Those same people, listen, you guys have no idea. Those same people that are in debt just like you, they heard the moratorium got extended. They're gonna really listen, they're gonna really dump their money into Bitcoin now. Ooh, watch you see Bitcoin spike. You got to just listen to what's really going on. Moratorium extended. Now they think they have more money. This is what they're thinking. They're gonna take the little money that they're getting, however they're getting it, and then they're gonna dump it into Bitcoin, believing Bitcoin is going to save them. Believing Bitcoin is gonna save them. Oh man, this is gonna get me out of this hole. No, it's not. No, it's not. So while slaves are going into frenzy over Bitcoin, slaves are buying up houses. They're like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna take advantage of this student loan debt not on my credit report. I'm gonna take advantage, and plus, I don't have to pay. I don't have to pay rent where I live right now. Man, I'm just winning, and I'm getting stimulus check. I'm just winning." And then they go finance a house based on those numbers, based on all those illusionary numbers. Mm, 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 mm. It just it just hurts me to even think about that shit. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. I always be talking about investments and stuff. God, it's horrible. Never wanted to borrow a lot. Like I like paying for things in cash. Yeah, I was always like that too. I didn't like to borrow a lot at all when I did borrow. I remember being in college and seeing them hand out credit cards, and I seen 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds buying luxury cars. I'm sitting there like, man, if you only knew. Yeah, exactly. But you know what? When I see that happen at college, people get upset. You know what I see? I just see business. If you put it this way, if you know this knowledge now, okay, as a parent, and you got young children, and you understand what SMD is teaching you right now, you're going to naturally teach this to your children, right? This is just an automatic. You're going to if you wake up now, realize you're a slave as a young parent, right? You two work together, you become free as a couple. Then you guys know there will be no other couple like you two. Okay, there will, and then you're going to naturally teach this to your children. And by the time your kids go to college, and when they walk on campus and wherever they go to school, and they're going to be offered credit cards, they're going to ignore it. It won't matter what credit cards, what people say. It won't matter what their friends say. This is a good idea to finance a car. It's okay to have credit cards. You will have already taught them that none of that makes any sense. None of that is true. And then they will automatically know. So then it won't matter what the credit card companies are doing on college campuses because they'll just walk right past it. They'll say, "Oh, our parents already told us that shit makes absolutely no sense. No, thank you." Their friends be like, "Hey, girl, you gonna get a credit card?" You probably turn to you, "Hey, if I got a credit card, my parents will beat my ass." They would look at you like you're weird. What? They'll beat your ass for getting a credit card? Hell yeah. Credit means you like playing their game and playing by their rules. They need for external approval. Validation is poisonous. It is. It's very poisonous. But it's just business. I don't care that the credit card companies do that. That's without slaves, we couldn't. People that understand money couldn't be free. All of this works together. The wealthy cannot be wealthy without slaves. That cannot happen. If you don't want your kids to be slaves, all you gotta do is just learn this. Hey, I'm gonna get with L. He's gonna make this plan for him. He's gonna help me be free. Once you know this, you're gonna remember SMD for the rest of your life. Okay, it's not one day you're gonna wake up and say, man, I remember this one dude 20 years ago, man, he helped me get out of debt. You'll never say that. You'll know exactly how you got out of debt because you'll never hear it again. LJ, I'm taking a 30-day road trip across America paying cat. Wow, that's cool, man. That is beautiful. So what's going to happen to the people with all the debt in this new economy? They're just going to be slaves. I mean, you said what's going to happen to? They're just going to be slaves. They're going to do what slaves do to keep surviving or whatever they do. Without slaves, none of this could work. Just like I was stating earlier about the moratorium, there's certain things that can and cannot happen, okay? Because you can't have slaves waking up. We just can't have that. You kick everybody out at once, slaves would wake up. They're like, hey, there's people getting kicked out in the nice neighborhoods too, in the rich areas. Yeah. Wow, that doesn't make sense. And then they'll start getting a light bulb in their head that it doesn't matter how much a motherfucker make. Moratorium extended. Boom. Woo. Oh, all the slaves are going, oh, what a relief. We got till June. What's going to happen between now and June that's different from today, right now, this very second? What's different? Nothing. Yes, they do. College is a business. I want you guys to understand this clear. College is a business. Have you guys noticed how many online colleges have been popping up all over the internet and TV commercials? Have you noticed that? That's the next big business. Online colleges are taking full advantage of this moment because slaves now believe that have lost their jobs, didn't have any other skills. They now believe the only way to get an additional skill is what? Ding, 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 college. Now that the moratorium has been extended, hey, now I have some extra money for what? College. Better yet, I'm waiting to see, when okay, and I truly believe it's going to be extended from June to the end of the year, probably beginning of next year, whatever, right? But still, I think, okay, well what's going to happen between now? This is what I predict. Something, if they extend it till the end of this year or to the next year, to the beginning of next year, that means something's got to happen between now and December. Because again, even that if they put it to January, everybody can't get kicked out at one time. It still can't happen. It doesn't matter how far they push it. It doesn't matter. Something has to happen. Something has to be put in place to prevent that from happening. So something's going to happen in this gap here. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. That's generations above my pay grade. I used to actually think that people who drove them luxury cars were wealthy. I finally found out the truth. Yeah, none of that means anything. When you get out of the debt matrix, you don't pay attention to any of that stuff. People's cars and houses and rims, what they have, how much money they're showing on TV or videos. None of that means anything. If somebody, put it this way, okay? If somebody showed you, just say like this. If somebody showed you a stack of money, say like they have 50,000, no, let's say $20,000. They showed a stack of $20,000. Say, yeah, I'm getting money, blah, blah, blah. What if that person has $50,000 in student loan debt? Okay. But you don't know that. You don't know that they have student loan debt, and they're showing you a stack of $20,000. Well, if you put $20,000 in the calculator, open up the calculator, put 20,000 minus 50,000, that's negative 30,000. That money that they're showing you, it's not there. That doesn't exist. What are you looking at? See, this is how we look at things. If you're not personally at zero, whatever you're showing me doesn't exist. You could show me if you have $100,000 in student loan debt and you show me that you have a whole Bitcoin, you can prove it on paper. Be like, look, I got a Bitcoin. No, you don't. You don't got no Bitcoin. What are you talking about? 50,000 minus 100,000, that's negative 50,000. You don't have a bit of nothing. Oh, what you mean? Explain it, man. I got this right here. I don't know. You explain it. You're the only one that sees it. I don't see it. You explain it to me. Why do you think it exists when I'm clearly showing you mathematically that it doesn't? So, LJ, if the extension does happen on June 30th, that means the banks are allowed to start telling people to get out of their homes. Um, Honestly, when okay, this is how I think. Okay, I don't think the banks really give a shit. Okay, because you guys got to understand something. Before this happened, the banks already knew which people were in trouble with their homes. Okay, so it's like a it's like a crystal ball that you can see, right? Mathematically, you can already see they're in trouble. So they already knew which ones were going to be in trouble. This is more for the people that own property that didn't know, that own businesses that didn't know, they didn't understand money. Because just because we're talking about houses, the same goes for businesses. The banks already knew which business is in trouble too. They already knew. This is more for the people that didn't know their own property. They're about to be removed from the board. For the landlords, okay, so the banks own the rental properties. So you guys are just pretty much, because you guys ain't gonna get no money. So you just pretty much just gonna surrender the property. Actually, you're just gonna end up leaving because you won't even be able to afford to stay where you live now. So you guys will just vanish away from the property, and the bank owned it the whole time. So really, the bank owns the property the whole damn time, everything. Mm. I don't know how they're gonna do that, man. I'm really thinking. I'm sorry. I'm just like sometimes I'll just go off. I'll be like, okay, make this dot connection, connect this dot, because sometimes things don't make sense. Like again, this is the only thing I'm saying. It doesn't matter where they push it. Something has to happen before they say, okay, moratorium's lifted. They can't just say that. I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. I'm actually it's a weird thing to say, but I'm actually excited to see when these things happen and when they say these things, I'm really like it intrigues me. Because again, when this moratorium happened, they say, "Oh, it's going to be extended." I was like, "Oh, okay, I already knew that. Yeah, all right, that was easy to see." Okay, nothing like for example, nothing happened between now and the last moratorium. Nothing happened. So what would lifting the moratorium now compared to then make a difference? It wouldn't make a difference, but just worse. You got each time the moratorium is extended, you guys go deeper in debt. That's that's what's really happening. You guys really don't understand that. You guys will never be able to pay back the money for your business or your house. You're never going to catch up with that many payments because the economy has now changed. You're never getting that job. You lost that job that got you that house. It's gone. Just let it go. It was never yours. If you accept that the house you're in was never yours, it'll be easy for you to let it go. If you just accept knowing that, if you put it this way, if you know you'll never be able to catch up on the payments that you've missed, you can just forget about ever owning it. If you can't even keep up with the payments, you got to forget about ever owning this house, ever. The faster you do that, the quicker you'll be ready for the new economy that's happening now. You'll be ready. And then, like, if you have a house now, man, if you just open your eyes and sell, get out of it. And then when you start hearing the moratorium is extended and all this other stuff, you're really not going to care about it. You won't care. You just be like, oh, it got dead. It pushed again. Okay, whatever. Not to get off topic, but I think it will be, it will be any, are you saying it will not be any more stimulus checks? Uh, hmm. It has to be more stimulus check. It has to be more money. The money is more to, I mean, hence the name stimulus, to stimulate the economy. Okay. It's for the purpose of stimulating the economy because it's not enough money to catch. Okay, these are the things that you got to just understand. It's not enough money to ever catch you up on your mortgage payments. It's not going to catch you up. And you got to remember, slaves are trying to keep up with their car payments, their credit card payments, all these payments, and a stimulus check is not going to do that. Okay, so pretty much the only thing that can be spent on, they're going to spend it on bullshit because they're going to say in their mind, oh, you can just go on social media right now and they always say, oh man, that ain't money, ain't shit, that can't do this and that. Well, that's true, it can't do none of that. So they're going to spend it on bullshit because it's not enough money in their mind to pay for anything, to whatever. I don't know what they think. Moratoriums are to facilitate the transfer of wealth. So what are we in March? We're in March, April, May, June. So 3 months. 3 months to hmm. Wow. Hmm. I ain't gonna lie, man. It is amazing to watch this happen. Um, I don't really watch like politics unless they talk about something major, right? It just has to be, it just has to be major for me to pay attention to politics because those people do affect what happens. Okay, it's not like I don't care if, you know, what he looks like. I don't care the way he's walking. It doesn't matter. Whatever coming out of his mouth changes things. Oh man, you don't know who's controlling him. It doesn't matter who's controlling him. From weak hands to strong. Yeah, and you know, so crazy, Andre. That's exactly what it looks like to me. That's exactly what it looks like to me. It kind of looks like, also looks like they had so many fakers. Because this is how I picture it. Over time, some slaves will learn how to work the current economic system, and they will share this information with their kids, their family. This is how you work the system. But they don't realize these systems change And once they change, they're totally lost, totally lost. They will never the what they've been taught is now over. So all those people that understand the system, but they were making a lot of money in the previous economy, but they were still making payments. It doesn't matter. I know it to slaves that you can't tell, but people that understood how to work the system, how to make the money, but still in debt, making big payments. Now it's going to change. You can't slave. It's really hard for slaves. It's really hard to see the real people that own real estate. It's really hard for you guys to see them because there's so many fake people in the way. They're about to be removed. This this is why they're building so many apartment buildings and storage places because you guys are about to be moved off the board. All these so-called financial channels, there's some you're gonna see them disappear because all the stuff they're telling you right now is getting ready to not make any sense. You're gonna look at them and say, "Hey, wait a minute! You had all this financial knowledge and you didn't know this housing market crash was coming?" Nope, they sure did. You know why? Because they're slaves too. They're just like you. They just know something a little bit more than you. They're gonna make it seem like it came out of nowhere. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It's just off in the distance. Slaves don't know. Hey, you got to pull up some binoculars. If you here, put on these binoculars. Let me show you. Can you see that thing? You see that thing way out there? Yeah, that's a big, gigantic financial wave. That you see what that? You see how big it is? That's about 100 miles out, and you can see it from here, right? Yeah, it's coming. Slaves will hand the binoculars right back to you and walk off like, "Oh man, that's so far away. They'll never reach land." Okay, if you want to get out of this loop, but again, when I want to make sure this is clear. Yeah, you become free, but I mean, let's put it this way: you're freer than 95% of the most 98% of other people, but you're still not like free. Free, you just can't do anything you want. You can't. It's not like that. There's still rules. And I gave you guys early in the beginning of this video. I gave you guys an example. Say like you own some property, right? You you own you own some property, right? There's an entity that can tell you that you can't kick anybody out of your own property. Just sit on that for a minute. There's entity out there that says, "Hey, I know you're not getting paid, but you can't kick them out because we said so." Okay, just understand that. And when you get over here, you're like, "Oh shit, yeah, okay, I got it." Oh, you said that? Oh, okay. Well, I knew it. Somebody said it. I just didn't know who. Oh, you said it. Gotcha. Okay. And this is true. I look at this, man. I look at and I talk to Andre. It's like when you're in the debt matrix, they always talk about the 5-year plan. Do you guys know that ain't shit? That's nothing. 5 years? That's nothing. Because I remember what's your 5-year plan? You never once did I stop and say, why does everybody say five? I don't get why is five special? I don't get it. 5 years ain't nothing. You better be thinking way further than that. But again, but this is the difference though. When you own yourself, it really doesn't it's not a big deal to think that far. I know it sounds like, oh, you better be thinking 100 years. You get out of debt, you own yourself. It's not a big deal to think that far. It's not big at all. because you'll be doing everything now to make that happen. All right, it's time for me to get off here. What I'm going to be doing here, my videos probably cut down a lot because I'm going to start pouring myself into this book. Okay. Because I'm noticing that the only way this message is going to get out the way I want it to get out is going to be through a book. Because the majority of people are ashamed about their finances. They're too nervous to talk to about it. And if I can get this book in their hands in the privacy of their own homes, that'll be great. Because I know what I'm asking people to do. I'm asking people to unlearn what they've been taught all their lives and listen to this way, but they're probably being pulled because they don't understand why my math is right. And they got to accept that everybody else that's been teaching them is wrong. Why? Because my math is right. And math is an exact science. It's only when the tide goes out that you learn who has been swimming naked. Sure is. That's when you know. Nick King says, I never liked hearing save 6 months living expenses because 6 months always seemed like a low target. Why not 2 years? Exactly. 6 months and da da da. You get out of debt. You won't have to worry about saving up for an emergency because you will always have money. See, that's the difference. When you're out of debt, you always have money. There's nothing that's going to sneak up on you or catch you by surprise financially. No, you'll be ready. You'll always be ready. I'm dying, man. I wish I didn't finance these 2 new 21 cars. Yeah. I just put it this way, Phantom. It's never too late. I hope you don't think you're stuck. If you think put it this way, if you think you're stuck in those 2021 cars, that's how you feel. That's a feeling. There is nothing in this world that could keep me stuck with a depreciating object. That would not happen ever. Yeah, I know. I remember hearing that from Warren Buffett. I remember that. How many people you think understand that quote? They probably kind of know what that means, but they don't really know what that means. But slaves, you guys just don't know what that means. It's time for me to concentrate on this book. Because you guys don't really understand that if you are one of those people that are ashamed about your finances, millions of people are the same way as you. Millions. Your good credit score is just a mask. It doesn't, if you got a high credit score and you're deep in debt, your credit score don't mean anything. That's just a mask. That's the only thing that you can use to save face about your finances, because other slaves believe if you have a good credit score that you're good with finances, when that has nothing to do with anything. Nothing. That don't mean shit. Usually a high credit score means you're deeper in debt than most. That's all. Nothing more than that. Hmm. I hope you guys take this video and understand the meaning. Thank you, Andre. Appreciate your contribution, always showing up for the lives, man. I appreciate you. I hope you guys take this and wake up. Right now is the time to wake up. For real, right now is the time to wake the fuck up. Wake up. Now's the time to be rich or wealthy as you want to be. Your confidence, man, I'm telling you, everything in your life will change forever. I don't want you to be I don't want you to be an unconscious slave walking around here, unknowingly passing this unconscious slave financial mentality to your children. I don't want that. I want you all to feel what it feels like to own yourself. If you always remember zero starts with you, if you always remember I never break the laws of mathematics when it comes to my finances, if you always remember if it doesn't make mathematical sense, it cannot make financial sense, CENTS, you'll be free. You will never forget that time is the most valuable thing on earth. It's time. It's not money, it's time. You're going to be dead one day. It's got to be time. Pay attention to all the financial laws that could take away the time in your life, and pay it and say, there's some financial laws that are just fines, and then there's some financial laws that can put me in prison. Pay attention to those ones and say, why is that? There's something there that you need to know about, and you can't know about it if you're a slave. Once you own yourself, you'll know the reason for that. Thanks for the constant good content, LJ. Your videos help me build the confidence to go to chapter 7. I appreciate you sharing that with me. Thank you very much. I really do. When you are out of debt, savings are for opportunities, not for difficulties. Oh man, that's good. I like that. I like that. Oh man, a whole new language. A whole entire new language. God damn. Mm, mm, mm. The things slaves say, they don't even know what they're saying. You telling the world, oh man, I got to save some money for emergencies. You just told the people that know that you are broke. You need to save for 6 months? Oh shit, yeah, you're broke. All right, you guys have a good evening. I'm out of here.